I think, and looking at some of the youngsters, well, we've talked about Archie Goodburn, a young sister Katie Goodburn, who goes in the youngest age group in the 50 freestyle. She's third fastest qualified behind Iona McLeod, who is having a strong meet. But I think we're just about ready to go with our first event. You can see the swimmers are making their way and are at the podium now, so we'll introduce them. This is the boys 11 to 13 years, 200 butterfly. They're going in lane 0 is Warrender swimmer Callum Rose. Beside him in lane 1 for North Lanarkshire is Michael Flynn. Then Spencer Bullivant, a gold medalist yesterday, goes in lane 2 for Dumfries Dolphins. Beside him, Fraser Kelly of North Ayrshire in lane 3. Mark Ford of South Lanarkshire goes in lane 4. Sean Patrick McGowan, the Scot from Hillingdon, goes in lane 5. 6 is Matthew Gordon of South Ayrshire. In 7, Jack Smith from Carlisle Aquatic, so just over the border. 8, Bryce Proctor of Dumfries Dolphins, so pretty local to Carlisle. They'll go head-to-head in lane 7 and 8. And then in lane 9 is Aberdeen's James Taylor, so they're the swimmers who will get this evening session underway. They're just being introduced to the crowd at the moment, and then we'll be underway very shortly. Looking at their times from the heats that were swum this afternoon, the fastest qualifier was Mark Ford, the South Lanarkshire swimmer, 2:23 he did. There'll be quite a range in times you would expect, because the slowest one was all the way up to 2:46, so 23 seconds between slowest and fastest this afternoon. You expect them all to be looking to go a little bit faster this evening, but we're ready to go. The referee blows his whistle, so let the action begin. So we've introduced them, and we're now seeing them get underway. Start's very important in any distance, but well, 200 butterfly, it is lane 4. Mark Ford, we talked about the fastest qualifier, 2:23. The South Lanarkshire swimmer looks to be the fastest away here. As we come up towards the 50, he's got about a metre's advantage on Sean Patrick McGowan. First time I think we've seen Sean Patrick in Scotland, the youngster. So we swim age as at 31st of December in these, so they're described as 13-year-olds, some of them probably 12-year-olds. In fact, we've got a couple who are listed as 12-year-olds, so they might even be 11. So these youngsters doing the tough event here, the 200 butterfly. And certainly Mark has a pretty good advantage here, around 3-4 meters up now as they approach halfway. So turning there, and I can tell you that the split there 1:06.55, and he leads by 3.5 seconds. Second still is Sean Patrick McGowan, and third place Matthew Gordon. You can just see there in the blue cap on the right of your screen, just ahead of lane 3, Fraser Kelly. And this is a strong performance, Jodie, from our leader Mark Ford.
Yeah, definitely. It's playing out very much as we expected so far. A really dominant lead from Mark as he comes into the final turn. This is the bit where it's going to start hurting now. The arms will be burning, legs will be burning. He's just got to keep that rhythm, keep that technique together, and it looks as though he could run away with this one.
Yeah, and he's certainly pacing a lot faster than I think he was this afternoon. I reckon he's maybe going to be around 2:17, 2:18, that sort of pace, against his 2:23 this afternoon. So if he can keep that sort of pace, he came into this meet with a 2:24, so it was a PB this afternoon, but I think it's going to be even faster here. He's just got 10 meters to go now. This is a dominant performance to get us started here from the young man from South Lanarkshire. Let's see as he comes in. The time just going over the 2:20, 2:21.88, so he does improve on his time by about 1.5 seconds. So he'll be happy with that. His coach, I'm sure, will be happy with that as well. It is Sean Patrick McGowan coming in for second, 2:26.44, and Matthew Gordon takes third. So that's the 1, 2, 3. Mark Ford, Sean Patrick McGowan, and Matthew Gordon. So you can see the full result there on the scoreboard. But 2:21.88, getting us off to a great start there. Mark Ford picking up his first gold medal of these championships. There you see him coming in. Nailed his finish pretty well there, Jodie.
Yep, definitely. It's so important to get the technical elements of these races right. And it was a big swim for him there, going quicker from the heats in the morning into the final. That's what every swimmer aims for.
So we go straight on to the 14-year-olds now, and they're ready to go in lane 0. From City of Aberdeen is Elliot Hepworth. In lane 1 from Warrender, Joe Ewing. In lane 2, Rory Young of Heart of Midlothian. So a good Edinburgh battle going on there. Stuart Brodie in lane 3 for South Lanarkshire. Then we've got 2 from City of Leicester. William Bell goes in lane 4. And his teammate Jay Newman in lane 5. Lane 6, Fraser Wilson of Midlothian. In 7, Warrender's Ian Rose, a second Warrender swimmer in this final. Then we have Alexander Johnson of Helensburgh in 8. And Liam Harkin of First in lane 9. So away we go there. There was a bit of an ooh from the crowd there at that start, so we'll just need to see whether there was any repercussions from that. Certainly first to hit the water is the green cap Fraser Wilson of Midlothian, looking to try and make a statement against the 2 boys from the City of Leicester, who you would think will be the favourites here. Will Bell in particular was looking very, very strong this afternoon when they swam their 400 freestyle. And it is, though, Fraser Wilson who leads at the 50, 29.45, around half a second or so up on William Bell. And he's obviously really wired up for that. He's already been on the top of the podium and also on second place on the podium yesterday. So he'll be looking to try and pick up another medal here. It's developing now into the 3-way contest, and Will Bell now has started to make his move. He's about 1.5 meters up as we come to halfway. The clock showing 1:04.12 for the 100-meter split, and a lead of about a second now with Jay Newman just now ahead of Fraser Wilson. So that's looking like the 1-2-3 at the moment. There's still not too much in it, and well, there's local bragging rights at stake in the Leicester camp here, because Jay Newman is not done yet with William Bell. They'll both be pushing. William Bell came into this meet with a much faster time, about 8 seconds faster than Jay Newman, but certainly not anything like that between them as they go through the 150. 139.31 and 140.48, so just over the second separating them. William Bell, though, will be looking to put his foot down on the accelerator here down this final length. And he's around 2-3 meters up now. It's getting a bit closer for third here. Fraser Wilson has had it really from about the 75-meter mark, but you can see there 2 swimmers over on the other side of the pool. Stuart Brodie and Rory Young, but there's only one winner and there's only 1 second. It's going to be a Leicester 1-2 here as William Bell comes in 2:14.31. So again improving on his heat time this afternoon by a couple of seconds, and right bang on the time he was entered on. Jay Newman, he'll be very happy with that, I think. 2:16.79, that's great progress from him. And Fraser Wilson 2:19.53. And unfortunately there is a disqualification you see there on the scoreboard. It doesn't affect the top 3. It's lane 8, Helensburgh's Alexander Johnson, unfortunately disqualified. I suspect that was at the start. So William Bell, very impressive there, Jodie.
Yeah, definitely. It's so true that success breeds success, and the Leicester camp must be riding on a high at the moment. Plenty of medals yesterday and 2 more to add to the tally now.
Yeah, they just seem to love coming up to the Scottish National Championships. We saw them last year in Aberdeen, and it's great to have them here in Tollcross. But we move to the 15-year-olds now, and we have Jamie McDonald there for Warrender in lane 0. Dominic Kelly of South Lanarkshire goes in 1. Craig Greenock of North Lanarkshire in 2. Daniel Ferguson of West Lothian in 3. Archie Goodburn of Warrender in 4. Mitchell Stevenson of South Lanarkshire in 5. Finlay Hart of East Lothian in 6. Jamie Booth of Warrender in 7. Dylan Somerville of South Ayrshire in 8, and Carl Barrett of Western Bartonshire in 9. So again, a bit of an ooh from the crowd at the start there, so we'll just see what happens there. There have been quite a lot of full starts over these last day and a half, and perhaps that's just particularly with these younger swimmers, the tension of coming to maybe their first national championships. But we talked about Archie Goodburn at the top of the transmission, and well, it doesn't look like he's going to disappoint at the moment. He leads them through the 50, 29.02 for him. 2 gold medals yesterday. Can he add to that today? You wouldn't bet against it for the Warrender swimmer. Really promising talent. Going well in lane 2, Craig Greenock of North Lanarkshire in the silver cap. He's just about holding second from lane 6, East Lothian's Finlay Hart, and on his shoulder the South Lanarkshire swimmer, and that is Mitchell Stevenson. Daniel Ferguson also up there for West Lothian. So we've got a 4-way contest for the minor medals behind Archie Goodburn, who goes through halfway in 101.88. So technique here, different for the sprints and the 200s in butterfly. Jodie, what are we looking for in the stroke here from Archie for this longer butterfly event?
Absolutely, it's about staying relaxed, keeping tension free in the shoulders. You know, it's all about driving forward rather than the momentum going up and down. You know, you've got to conserve as much energy as you possibly can, and it looks like Archie's got it spot on. So
136.27 for him as they turn into the final 50. There's still a great battle going on for silver and bronze. There are still 4 in the mix for that. Craig Greenock, who's just about held second throughout. Well, I'm not sure he's got it at the moment, because lane 6, Finlay Hart, may just have second place at the moment. There's only one winner here, but the race is behind that for the silver and the bronze. Trying to make a late move in lane 3 is Daniel Ferguson, but Archie Goodburn well clear of all of that, and he comes in 2:10.50. So magnificent performance. Who gets second? It is Finlay Hart. He'll be delighted with that 2:15.70. I think probably his best performance in the national championships. And Craig Greenock just behind him, 2:15.84. So subject to the referee's confirmation, that will be the 1, 2, 3. There you have it on the board, and unfortunately again a disqualification. This time it's Dominic Kelly in lane 1. So the 1, 2, 3, Archie Goodburn, Finlay Hart. The 1 and 2 there. I think we're moving to presentations now. Just struck me, we didn't see a replay of Archie's finish there, but it looked like there was a little bit of a glide in to me at the end there.
Yeah, it's so important to get the finishes technically spot on, but I've got to say I'm really impressed so far with the way these youngsters are swimming the races. The strategy seems to be working perfectly, and it's also great to see them really coming through at the end as well. It was quite typical, certainly when I was young, that you would just go out as hard as you possibly could and hang on for dear life, whereas these swimmers are much smarter now. They're looking at the technique, they're looking at the race strategy with their coaches, and really they're able to now pull it back. And we saw lane 3, Finlay Hart really coming through in that last 20 metres. He'd saved just about enough to be able to come through and challenge for that second place.
Yeah, that was good racing. What we're seeing here, the youngsters getting their medals. So Matthew Gordon picked up the bronze there. He swam from South Ayrshire. The silver went to Hillingdon's Sean Patrick McGowan, and picking up the gold there, South Lanarkshire's Mark Ford. So they'll be happy with those medals. They'll get treasured. And next up will be the 14-year-old medalists. There they are. Bronze medalist, still puffing a little bit there on the third place podium is Midlothian's Fraser Wilson. He's every right to still be puffing a bit. You put everything into that. Try and keep up with these two boys from City of Leicester. The silver medalist there, Jane Newman. A great swim from him. Really pushed it all the way. And if he couldn't quite match this man, his teammate, William Bell. Gold medal number 3 for William. And the national champion is Fraser Wilson, so the top Scot gets a gold medal of his own. I think that's the second time that Fraser's got that honour, as well as one in his own right as first place. I think that was in the 50 fly from memory. So we go back to swimming now, and the swimmers are making their way out to the starting blocks for the 16-year-old final. Good crowd in tonight, watching the action, looking pretty involved and engaged in what's going on. And we've got the swimmers now to be introduced to you. There in lane 0 from Brock, Fraserburgh Base Club, is Luke Pearson. Beside him from Perth City is Tom Jeffers, also in the red for Perth. Carnegie swimmer Owen Strachan goes in lane 2 in the black cap. Beside him in the silver, North Lanarkshire's Gianno Napolitano. And he has a teammate next to him, Thomas Balfour, goes in lane 4, so you can distinguish between the different caps from the two North Lanarkshire boys. 5 is Warrender's Jonah Walsh. In 6, James Beattie of Carnegie. 7 is Aberdeen's Fergus Kennedy. 8, Finlay Hastings of Dumfries. And Finlay Wiley from Afford in lane 9. So they're off and away. Thomas Balfour looked very strong in the earlier heats. He was the fastest, 2:14.11, over 3 seconds faster than Jonah Walsh, the next fastest. And 16-year-olds. Thomas Balfour, a member of the Youth Development Squad, part of the performance programme at Scottish Swimming. It's pretty close at the 50, but it is Balfour 29.19 who gets the touch at the 50. Be interesting to compare his times with Archie Goodburn, a year younger, of course, in the previous final. It's just showing the quality of Archie's swim, that actually Thomas's split there was slightly slower than Archie's, even though these swimmers are a year older. But this is a good tight contest going on here. It is Thomas Balfour who leads. The Carnegie swimmer Owen Strachan just behind him, and in between them is Gianno Napolitano. That's the 1-2-3 at halfway, 1:03.08 at the halfway mark. So they're pacing around about 34 seconds here. So that will put us on target for about 2:11. And you just feel that there is some legs in this race, with a number of swimmers who could really push hard. When you've got swimmers hard around you here, Jodie, does it affect your stroke, or you just got to focus on your own race?
You've just got to focus on your own race completely. You've got to trust in your own training, trust in your race strategy. You can't get fazed by the guys around you, but hopefully you can use it as motivation to just push on.
And that's what Thomas is doing here, because he has led throughout, but his lead is starting to stretch now. It's still the Carnegie swimmer Owen Strachan just about holding on to second, although Jonah Walsh is coming right at him at the moment. Gianna Napolitano is also putting in a late challenge. So is the Perth swimmer Tom Jeffers, but Thomas Balfour has got this one under control in the white cap. He's going to lead them home. Let's check his time. He comes in 2:13.65. That takes about half a second off his heat time. In second was Jonah Walsh, 2:14.94, just getting ahead of the others at the closing stage. And Tom Jeffers, I'm pretty sure that will be his first ever national medal. The Perth City swimmer takes the bronze, 2:16.94. And there's confirmation for you. Well, certain Anne Dixon, the Perth City coach, will be absolutely ecstatic about that one. I think she has high hope for Tom Jeffers, who's a very late entry into the sport of swimming. It's never too late to start, though, as Tom has just shown, a national medalist. So the 17 and overs are next up for you, the last of our 200 butterflies. In 0 from first is Mark Elric. In lane 1 from Aberdeen, Murray Quellant. In lane 2, his teammate, also from Aberdeen. Actually, I'm not sure he's there, is he? Tom Bealey. We'll get confirmation of that, but I don't see him. Lane 3, Ryan Brown of City of Glasgow. In lane 4, Cameron Brodie of University of Stirling, the British champion. In lane 5, Callum Reid of Warrender. In lane 6, Lewis Smith, the vastly experienced swimmer from University of Stirling. His teammate Fraser Lowther in 7, Conor McNeil of Ren 96 in 8, and William Murden of University of Stirling in 9. And Cameron Brodie, you would think, will be the favourite here. Of course, none of these really experienced swimmers will have tapered for this meet. They'll be focusing on events to come in this pool in April. So if you have a chance to come down to Tollcross in April, you can see the battles to get it onto the Olympic team. It should be very, very exciting. And Cameron will be one who will be hoping to be there or thereabouts. He leads 27.02. So we're seeing obviously a much faster pace from these senior athletes. Cameron about a body length up on the swimmers either side of him. Callum Reid, Ryan Brown. Said Tom Bealey might not be there. Well, he certainly is there. He's in around 4th place, 3rd or 4th place at the moment in lane 2. Along with Callum Reid of Warrender. Keep your eyes on Lewis Smith as well. The hirsute Lewis Smith at the moment, and he will be strong in the second half, you would think here. Through the halfway point, it's Cameron Brodie. Around 2 meters, maybe a little bit more up. Looks like it is Ryan Brown still holding 2nd place in lane 3, but well, that's going to be the tight contest, I think, for silver and bronze here as Brodie comes to the 150, 129.14. So pacing around the 31, so he's going to be around the 2 minutes here. This is a good swim from Ryan Brown in his first season at City of Glasgow, the boy from the borders. And he is pushing Cameron all the way here, looking certainly good for the silver now. It's going to be Callum Reid against Lewis Smith for the bronze. Advantage with Callum at the moment as Cameron Brodie leads them in. Check on the time, just over the 2 minutes, 2:01.06. 2nd place, Ryan Brown, 2:02.06. So good swim from Ryan. Came into this meet with a 2:03, so he'll be happy to have taken a 2nd off that. Callum Reid takes 3rd, and I think he'll be quietly happy to have beaten the alumni from Warrender, Lewis Smith, to the bronze medal there. So thoughts on Cameron's swim there?
Yeah, dominant performance from Cameron. I'm not sure how happy he'll be with the time, but this is the last opportunity for him to really practice the race strategy ahead of the trials in 2 weeks' time. So he will have had process goals going into that, certain things that he will have been tasked with hitting throughout the race. So it'll just be up to him now to go and chat with his coaches and get a full analysis on that performance.
So we focus now back to the podium. This is the 15-year-old boys, and getting the bronze medal, Craig Greenock of North Lanarkshire. Silver medalist, Finlay Hart of East Lothian. And we talked about this young man of Warren, Archie Goodburn, the gold medalist in a time of 2 minutes 10.50. So excellent swims from those 3 gentlemen. The 16s will be up on the podium now. So Liz Stewart, the SASA president, making the presentations here, and the bronze medal getting a great cheer from the crowd. Tom Jeffers of Perth City. Silver medalist Warrender's Jonah Walsh. Warrender leading the team competition after day 1 by quite a margin, 216 points to South Lanarkshire's 194. So that's good points here for the Warrender team from Archie Goodburn in the last one, and from Jonah Walsh a silver medal, but the gold medal from North Lanarkshire, Thomas Balfour, also getting a big cheer. And they don't get much time to prepare before they get their presentations, these 17 and overs, but here they are. Just got time to get the shirts on and make their way to the podium. the bronze medalist, another Warrender swimmer, Callum Reid. Just shows the strength and depth from the Warrender program under head coach Laurel Bailey. Silver medalist Ryan Brown, the City of Glasgow. The fact that they featured on the podium in 3 of these 5 200 butterflies. And the gold medalist, though, from University of Stirling, Cameron Brodie. So manly handshakes all round. And we're done with the 200 butterfly. So 50 freestyle up next. And they're up at the other end of the pool. One length, of course. And we have Elspeth Roper, our best, the Borders team, going in 0. Kirsty McNair from Kirkintilloch in 1. In 2, Alicia Bain of City of Aberdeen. 3 is Katie Goodburn from Warrender. In 4, Iona MacLeod of Dundee City Aquatics. In lane 5, Rosie Morgan of City of Aberdeen. In 6, Ola Stanton of Kinross. 7 is Mari MacDonald from City of Aberdeen. Lane 8, Emma Jeffrey of North Lanarkshire. And lane 9, Ellie Palmer from First. So Iona MacLeod, the winner of the 1500 freestyle yesterday, as well as the 100, will be looking to add to her freestyle victories here in the 50. Of course, very, very different from the 1500. It's very, very tight, though, as they come down the pool. 15 metres to go, and it's lanes 3, 4 and 5 all close together. Katie Goodburn, Iona MacLeod, Rosie Morgan. Any of these 3 could take her. I think it's between Iona and Rosie, and I think it's Rosie, yes it is, who takes it, 27.93. So the Dubai-based swimmer swimming with City of Aberdeen at these championships takes gold. Iona MacLeod has to settle for the silver, with Katie Goodburn the bronze. And well, very, very tight there. The camera focusing on Iona. You camera guys, you got the wrong lady there, because it was the swimmer next to her who took the honours, Rosie Morgan, the Scot based in Dubai. It's an excellent swim from her. Take, I think, her second gold. On to the 14-year-olds. In 0, Nicole Ogg of Geary. In 1, Freya Bannerman of Perth City. In lane 2, Scarlett Maitland, City of Aberdeen. In lane 3, Alex Bonner, also City of Aberdeen. In lane 4, Lucy Ross of South Lanarkshire. Lane 5, Ailey Redpath of Midlothian. In lane 6, Katie McGee of Swimmit. In lane 7, Jessica McKee from Carnegie. 8 is Claire Wallace of Ren 96. And in lane 9, Victoria Duncan from First. So hardly any time to breathe. These 50s coming fast and furious here. The fastest qualifier for this one, Lucy Ross of South Lanarkshire. She's another one who's having a really successful week of it so far. But beside her is the green cap of Ailey Redpath. There's nothing in it between these two. The other's just a little bit behind. But we saw a really tight one last time. I think Lucy Ross this time just edging into the lead, and in the end takes it by around a metre. Really stormed her finish as well. 28.01 for her. Cruised by 3/10. Second place was Ailey Redpath. Now look at this finish. Whoa, absolutely stretched for the wall there. So great stuff there. Ailey Redpath second. And in third place it was Scarlett Maitland, City of Aberdeen swimmer. So straight on to the 15-year-olds. Abby Orr, one of 3 Heart swimmers, goes in lane 0. Megan Pathal, her teammate next to her, in 1. And Anna McFarlane, also of Hearts, in 2. City of Aberdeen's Yasmin Perry goes in 3. Emma Govan, West Lothian, in 4. Katie Robertson of South Ayrshire in 5. Sophie Smith of St Thomas in 6. Rasheen Ramsey of Warrender in 7. Sarah Anderson of East Lothian in 8. And Kirsten Grant of Dundee City Aquatics in lane 9. Emma Govan of West Lothian, the fastest qualifier for this one, 27.80. Keep your eye on Katie Robertson. She's a breaststroke specialist, but shows a lot of form over a number of strokes. Great start in lane 3 from Yasmin Perry. So she's up there, and I think she has the edge at the moment. 15 metres to go. It's Yasmin Perry in the green cap in lane 3. Starting to come at her is Emma Govan. It's between the two of them. Can Yasmin hold on to this? She can. She takes it in 27.35. 27.48 for Emma Govan, and Katie Robertson taking third. Yasmin Perry really pushed that hard at the beginning there. Got an electric start. And there's confirmation, the 1, 2, 3. Sophie Smith, Anna McFarlane, 4th and 5th, just missing out. Whew, fast and furious, Jodie.
Yeah, some big swims from those girls so far. Some really great PBs on the board. And just a nod to Rosie Morgan there. 27.93 she went in the youngest age group. Would have actually placed her 5th in the 15 years and over. So brilliant swimming from her.
Yeah, very promising there. Watch her future with great interest. And get a chance to see them as we go to the podium. Just see if our cameras can move over to the podium, because the 11-13 presentation is going on. We've got Katie Goodburn getting the bronze medal there, the silver medalist Iona McLeod from Dundee City Aquatics, and there's the gold medalist Rosie Morgan we were just talking about, City of Aberdeen. And our next presentation, the 14-year-olds. And the bronze medal going to Scarlett Maitland of City of Aberdeen. Silver medal to Midlothian's Ailey Redpath. And the gold medal, South Lanarkshire's Lucy Ross. Those broad shots of the pool, that just shows what a splendid pool this is at Tollcross now. Did you ever get the chance to swim here, Jodie?
Yeah, quite a few times. I actually swam in 2006, I think it was, at the UK Schools Olympics. The very first year that they did it, they held it at this very pool, so good memories for me.
I must have commentated on you in that one then, in fact, because I was there at the venue commentary for that event, so yeah, I'm embarrassed that I don't remember that. Well, anyway, on to the next final, which is the 16-year-olds. In lane 0 from City of Glasgow, Ailey Smith. In lane 1 for City of Aberdeen, Madeline Toms. In lane 2, Katie Bain of Lerwick. In lane 3, Nikki Miller from South Lanarkshire. In lane 4, Anna Fleming, City of Glasgow. In lane 5, Katie Smith of Warrender. Lane 6, Alice Alcaraz, City of Aberdeen. In lane 7, it's Zoe McDonald from Mulgai and Bearsden. Katie Mackay from the Highland Swim Team goes in lane 8. And in lane 9, Afric Cook of City of Aberdeen. So Anna Fleming, Katie Smith, the 1-2 in the 100 last night. What's going to happen tonight in the 50? So away we go. Lovely start from Anna Fleming there in lane 4. That's certainly given her about a meter's advantage. As they come down the pool, she's still holding that. It's very, very close for second here. A whole host of swimmers vying for silver and bronze, but it's Anna Fleming there coming through and takes it very comfortably for her 50 freestyle. 26.63 for her. That's an excellent time from her. Just looking at her entry time was 26.70, so she'll be happy to have matched that. I would think she'll probably be focusing on the trials because, of course, as well as Olympic trials, there's European Juniors to think about. On to the 17 and overs, and we have Danielle Joyce, the hearing impaired swimmer from the University of Stirling, in 0. Dulcim O'Neill of West Lothian goes in 1. Emily Crane of City of Leicester in 2. Lucy Hope of Edinburgh University in 3. Rachel Masson of South Aberdeenshire in 4. Camilla Hattersley, City of Glasgow, in 5. 6 is Katie Stark from Warrender. In 7, Hayley Monteith of Edinburgh University. 8 is Erin Cummins of Perth City. And in 9, Rachel Sharples from Edinburgh University. So we have 3 of the Scottish Commonwealth Games team here. Lucy Hope and Rachel Masson both in the 4x100. And Camilla Hattersley in the longer event, the 800. But this is going to be very, very close here. But Rachel Masson in the white cap, I think, just has the edge. Lane 2 is going very nicely. City of Leicester's Emily Crane, I think she's in second place at the moment. That looks like the 1-2 as Rachel Masson takes it 25.95. Second was Emily Crane, with Lucy Hope taking, well, a tie for third, in fact. Looks like Lucy Hope and Camilla Hattersley, joint bronze medalists. So we go straight to presentations once again, and this is the 15-year-old medalist, bronze medalist from South Ayrshire. Waiting to get her medal is Katie Robertson. We'll be looking forward to seeing Katie in the breaststroke later on. Really strong breaststroker, but showing some good speed there in the 50 freestyle. Silver medalist Emma Govan of West Lothian. The gold medalist from City of Aberdeen, Yasmin Perry, and that was all about the start for Yasmin there. Just got a jump on the rest of them. Margaret Somerville, the Vice President of the Scottish Amateur Swimming Association, making the presentations there. And I think the same, in a way, could be said of the next medalists, with Anna Fleming. Absolutely electric start for her, but the bronze medalist Nikki Miller, now she was another one who's mainly a distance swimmer, so to pick up a bronze in the 50 is a great performance from Nikki. Silver medalist Katie Smith of Warrender, yet another strong performance from Warrender swimmer. And gold medalist City of Glasgow's Anna Fleming. 26.63, pretty fast. So expect to see 4 ladies coming up for the 17 and overs. Doesn't look like they're quite ready. Here they come. Not had time to put the tops on. And they'll want to get straight off to the pool. Well, medal presentation's a bit of a nuisance for you if you just wanted to go and swim down.
I think it's a mixed bag, really. Obviously, it's brilliant to be able to collect the medal and to kind of be represented in front of the people that have come to support you, but equally, you know, those who are really thinking about the sports science element of it, you do need the recovery, and as quick as you possibly can is always best.
So there's joint bronze medalists Lucy Hope and Camilla Hattersley, just behind the silver medalist City of Leicester's Emily Crane, and the gold medalist getting a great cheer with the South Aberdeenshire team just sitting beside us, and goes to their favourite Rachel Masson. Rachel looked pretty good there, very smooth 50 freestyle swim from her.
Definitely very, very swift as well. 2 weeks out from the main trials, she won't have fully tapered down just yet, so hopefully plenty more to come from Rachel.
So next up we go to the boys 200 backstroke, and we've got 5 finals for you here, starting with the youngsters, the 11 to 13s, and there in lane 0 from Lerwick is Adam Miller, the proud Shetlander with cap flag on his clap. Lane 1, Craig Gibb of Dundee City Aquatics. Lane 2, Owen McBurney of Dumfries Dolphins. Lane 3 is Evan Jones of Nuneaton. Lane 4, Kerr Martin of North Lanarkshire. Lane 5, Jack Munsey of Kinross. Lane 6, Spencer Bullivant of Dumfries. 7 is Elliot Miller of First. 8 is Joseph Brownlee from West Lothian. And in lane 9, Jamie Ferguson from Mid Lothian. So off we go with the first of those 5 finals. Fastest qualifier, Kerr Martin, 2:27, only a second or so faster than Jack Munsey, and then another second to Evan Jones, Evan Scott from Nuneaton. So expect those 3 to be certainly in and about the lead, and it's fairly tight as they come to the first turn. A number of swimmers in the mix. Going very nicely over in lane 0 is Adam Miller, but turning first was in fact Elliot Miller, the first swimmer, 34.46. And as you can see on your screen there, as you get the shot across the pool, well, all the swimmers really within a couple of meters of each other, and at the front there's around about 5 of them, 6 of them maybe, as they come down towards the halfway point. Maybe just edging into the lead now is lane 4, Kerr Martin. And he does have the advantage. Turns 1:11.73. Leads by 3/10 from Elliot Miller, the leader at the 50. And then Jack Munsey. But still at least 5 swimmers in the mix here, maybe 6. With Kerr, though, does have the edge. So let's see if he can keep this going. Coming up to the final turn. Absolutely needs to nail these turns, get the maximum you can out of them. Let's see who get the advantage there. That was a good turn from lane 6. Spencer Bullivant, we saw him pick up gold yesterday. The free swimmer based in Stranraer, so makes the long trip along the A75 to be with his Dumfries team, and that was a terrific turn into the final length, and he's really pushing on it, but Kerr Martin is responding here. This is going to be a close one, 15 metres to go. It's between the 2 of them. Spencer in lane 6 against Kerr in lane 4. Looks like Spencer just has the edge, but there's very little in it as they come into the last few metres. Need a good finish here, and Spencer gets it, 2:25.33 against Kerr Martin's 2:25.52. And then Jack Munsey takes third, 2:27.19. Well, that was a terrific last 50 from Spencer Bullivant, Jodie.
Yeah, it just goes to show the difference that a good turn can make. You know, you're a lot faster underwater than you are over the water, and to be able to put that kind of distance in on the last turn of a 200 pays real dividends to his training and to his endurance.
Yeah, great stuff, and a nice one fillip for Danielle Brayson. It's her birthday today, the Dumfries coach, so happy birthday, Danielle. So on to the 14-year-olds, and it's Warrender's Magnus Rowley goes in lane 0. In lane 1, Keir Buchanan of South Lanarkshire. In 2 is Alexander Harris of Stirling Swim. Lane 3, Fraser Wilson of Mid Lothian. Cole Lee goes for City of Leicester in lane 4. Ryan Robertson of City of Glasgow in 5. George Dearden, City of Leicester in 6. Alistair Duns of West Lothian in 7. Charles Sinclair of Carlisle Aquatics in 8. And Rory Young from Heart of Midlothian in lane 9. So they're off and away here. Cole Lee, the winner of the 100 backstroke yesterday, looking to add the 200. to his list of achievements. He was the winner up in Aberdeen last year. As we saw in the 200 fly, Fraser Wilson off to a strong start in lane 3. Be interesting to see if he can sustain this. He's obviously decided that to go off hard at the beginning is the way to do it for him. And he does lead 32.66 at the 50. Second place, George Dearden, and third, Cole Lee. And the two Leicester boys now starting to make an impact, and we saw strong Leicester swims from Messrs Bell and Newman in the butterfly. This time it's Lee and Dearden, their turn to impress, and it is Cole Lee who now leads at the halfway point, 1:08.12. So pacing around 35.5 for his second 50. Close for second. Nice turn from Fraser Wilson. I think maybe just got him back into second ahead of George Dearden. And then just behind them in lane 5, City of Glasgow's Ryan Robertson. So they're the front 4, but Cole is gradually building his lead here, and I think he's pretty much in an impregnable position now as they come up to the 150. He's about 3 meters up. Through he goes. Get beautiful shots of the turns from that camera. And second place there, still Fraser Wilson, just ahead by 4/10 on George Dearden. So that maybe is the contest, but don't discount Ryan Robertson either for a minor medal here, because he is coming through a bit like we saw from Spencer Bullivant in the previous race with a strong last 50. He's not going to be able to do anything about the leader. He's got this one in the bag, I think, Cole Lee, but Ryan really pushing hard here, and he's gone past both George Dearden and Fraser Wilson. It looks good for the silver medal as Cole comes in there. And second place was Ryan, and third place is Fraser Wilson. 2:19.29 there, the winning time. So he's a little slower than he was in the heats, 2:17.95. Maybe be a bit disappointed in that. And that finish probably not the best there.
No, definitely not the best. I'm sure his coach will be having a word with him about that one, but I don't think that would have made the biggest difference. 2:17 to 2:19, maybe a little bit tired from this morning's swims.
Yeah, and of course that is a double now for Cole, so he'll be happy about that. Ryan Robertson with a good race there in second place, and Fraser Wilson in third as we go to the 15-year-olds. And there in the white cap in lane 0, City of Aberdeen's Nathan Jack Kennedy. In 1 for Geary, Max Hitchcocks. In lane 2 is Callum Chittleborough of Warrender. Lane 3, Ian Lovey of Broch. In lane 4, Logan Eason from Sterling Swim. We've got another Leicester man going in lane 5, that's Charlie Poole. 6 is Keir Edgar of First. 7 is Oliver Smith of Durham City. In lane 8, Maxwell Catamol of South Aberdeenshire. And lane 9, Conor Logan from the City of Glasgow. Logan Eason, the fastest qualifier, but there was only 13 hundredths between Eason and Poole in the heats, and also on 2:19 was Ian Lovey. So this one could be very close. So we're away with the 15-year-olds. Good start in lane 6. First, Keir Edgar. He won the 100 backstroke yesterday, and he came from one of the, well, not outside lanes, but not the centre lanes to win that 100 backstroke. So maybe a swimmer who just likes to take it a little bit easy in the heats and then show us what he's got in the final. That's what he did last night. And well, maybe that's what's going to happen again here as he goes through 30.97, leads by over half a second from Logan Eason in second, and Oliver Smith turning in third. Maxwell Catamol going well in lane 8 as well, down near the bottom of your screen there in the dark blue cap. You see once again we've got a scramble for second place behind a clear leader with his Keir Edgar. First swimmer made the move from Carnegie just before Christmas. Certainly doesn't seem to have done him any harm whatsoever as he goes through halfway mark 104.50. So pacing around 33.5 here, and he's got a very healthy lead here of a second and a half at the halfway point. Lane 4 now, Logan Easton still holding second. It is close for third. Oliver Smith in the red cap from Durham. As we come up from the north of England to compete in these championships. Good to have all of them here. But it's the swimmer from the first team, the Falkirk area team, who leads 1:39.58, Keir Edgar. And I think he's got this one in the bag. Now, I said it was going to be close. Well, how wrong was I? Because Keir was just keeping his powder dry this morning and showing us what he can do this evening. It's a very good swim out of lane 7 for Oliver Smith. He's looking good for the silver medal now. Still tight for third. Logan Eason against Ian Lovey, I think. But it's Keir Edgar who takes it. 2:14.69. So heat swim 2:20.30. So over 5.5 seconds faster than that. Well, he was definitely holding things back there, I think, this morning. Well, it worked. Good gold, number 2 for Keir. Oliver Smith, very good silver there for him. And Logan Eason won that contest for third place by a couple of tenths. I guess at this level, if you're a strong swimmer, you can afford to do that in the heats because you know you're going to make the final and then you can just save yourselves. But it's a dangerous trick to develop.
Yeah, sometimes it can be a bit of a risky move. I know certainly the GB team have been bitten somewhat in the past for that tactic, but clearly worked today for Keir. He obviously knew the position his body was in. He knew that he could pull it out of the bag tonight. Brilliant swim from him.
And he did indeed. So here we have the 11 to 13-year-old medalist, the bronze medalist there, Chet Munsey from Kinross Otters. Good to see Kinross getting on to the medal tally. Cam Martin of North Lanarkshire, the silver medalist, and our gold medalist number 2 for Dumfries Dolphin swimmer Spencer Bullivant. The 14-year-old final presentations coming up next. The bronze medalist, his second trip to the podium tonight, Fraser Wilson of Midlothian. Silver medalist, City of Glasgow's Ryan Robertson. And Cole Lee picks up his second gold in backstroke for the City of Leicester. Ryan Robertson is the Scottish champion. Alison Lowe, you might have recognised making this presentation, as the head coach of Aberdeen Amateur Swimming Club, also now the vice president of the Scottish Amateur Swimming Association, so out of her normal poolside attire and Aberdeen colours and into a more formal dress for making those presentations. So back to the swimming now, and we have the 16-year-old 200 backstrokers ready to go. There in lane 0, going for North Lanarkshire, his second final of the evening, Gianna Napolitano. In lane 1 for Dumfries, Lewis McLeod. In lane 2, Tom Christie Smith from City of Leicester. His teammate Adam Wilkes from City of Leicester goes in 3. 4 is Ryan Retson of First. 5, Joe Watt from the City of Glasgow. Lane 6, Duncan McKinney of the City of Glasgow. Lane 7, Scott Gibson of South Lanarkshire. 8, Thomas Balfour of North Lanarkshire. And 9, Nicholas Nightingale from Geary. Ryan Retson, another one who's looking for gold medal number 2, the first swimmer. To my mind, probably the favourite here, and well, straight away into the lead in lane 4. He's already up by the best part of a body length, just over half a length down the pool. Trying to keep with him is City of Glasgow's Joe Watt in lane 5, and beside him in 6 his teammate Duncan McKinney through the first turn. 29.92 for Retson, leads by about a second. In fact, Scott Gibson taking second, the South Lanarkshire swimmer in lane 7, and Joe Watt third. Ryan Retson, really promising talent. The first swimmer, 2:09.10. His heat swim this morning was 5.5 seconds faster than anybody else. And he's going to be there or thereabouts. I think he's going to be 2 or 3 seconds faster at the halfway mark. 1:02.34 against 1:05.08, so nearly 3 seconds. And continuing to stretch that out again, Jodie. There you saw again a beautiful turn from Ryan.
Yeah, it makes such a difference in these backstroke events. I'm just so impressed to see these swimmers really going for it from the start. It sometimes can be a bit of a risky manoeuvre to really take it out that hard, but it's been paying off all evening.
And suddenly I think they come with what they think they can do, and in fact maybe more than know that they can do, and they just need to execute it well, and that's what Ryan is doing there. 1:35.43 with 50 to go, so pacing just over the 33 mark. So we're looking for something probably just inside his 2:09 heat time. See whether he can improve on that. I think he will. It's going to be a big win for Ryan as he comes in impressive style. 2:08.46, so did improve by over half a second on his heat swim. So good swim from him. Came in to the meet on a 2:09.24 as well, so he's improved on that too. So job well done from Mr. Retson there. Second place Joe Watt, 2:13.32, and Adam Wilkes from City of Leicester takes third. Another City of Leicester medal goes to Adam. So one more 200 backstroke final, and they're ready to go in lane 0. Probably not a very familiar lane for this man. Angus Barr, South Lanarkshire, distance freestyle specialist. Edinburgh University's Alistair Robertson goes in 1. From City of Glasgow, Ross McCafferty in 2. 3 is Finlay Dean, City of Aberdeen. Lane 4, Craig McNally of Warrender. Lane 5, Jack Warren Ballard from the University of Stirling. Lane 6, Alistair Campbell of the University of Stirling. Lane 7 is George Clough from Warrender. Lane 8, Callum Deans of City of Glasgow. In lane 9, James Collier from Carnegie. So Craig McNally, Commonwealth Games finalist. Be interesting to see what he does here. 2:06 was his time this morning. Expect him to be a fair bit faster than that tonight. So away they go. So 2 weeks out from trials, Jodie. What would you expect to see here from Craig?
Well, I'd very much hope that he'll be sticking to his usual race plan, which for Craig, as most of us know, is very much a back-end focus. He tends to not go out quite so hard, although we're seeing him taking it out relatively well just here, but it very much is that last 25 for him.
So we'll see what he can do. It's pretty even Stevens at the first turn. Craig McNally and Jack Warren Ballard, who was a medalist in the 100 back last night. 28.79, the touch with Craig by a narrow margin. Just extending it a little bit through that turn and down the second length. Is up now by about a metre. These two have a bit of distance now on third place. Ali Campbell from the University of Stirling. Although just along with him in lane 2 is Ross McCafferty, and Finlay Dean's pretty close with them as well. halfway mark, 59.29, so pacing just over 30 seconds for that second 50. Now we'll maybe start to see him make his move. Let's see. He's still up by about a body length, so he's not really making it at the moment. In fact, if anything, well, I was going to say that Chat was making some ground. I don't think that's true. It's about 3-4 meters now as we come to the 150. 1:30.17. I'm sure he'd like to go under the 2 minutes here if he can. Be close to that, I think. And you can see him now upping his stroke rate and really starting to push. So Jody, you called it well here. We've seen this so often from Craig. Really starts to push it down this last length. It's the way he likes to swim it. If it works for him, then don't mess with it. And you see the stroke rate really driving hard as he comes in there. And just over the 2 minutes, 2:00.47. So over 6 seconds faster than he was earlier on. 2:05.06. Jack Warren Ballard takes second. Good solid swim from Jack. And the bronze, 2:07.44, goes to Finley Deans. Thoughts on that swim, Jodie?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely played it out the way that we were expecting. Turned on the afterburners in that final 25. Judging by his facial expression afterwards, not quite so happy with the time. 2 weeks out from trials, I'm sure he'll be hoping for something much quicker at this point, but you can never rule out someone like Craig Manally. He's such a talent. I'm sure that he'll pull it through in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, we're very interesting to see. So remember, you can come to Tollcross and watch all the action. It'll be live streamed if you can't. Join us here. The bronze medalist now for the 15-year-olds on the podium. The Oliver Smith is the bronze medalist from Durham City. Just getting the silver medal there. Sterling's Logan Eason. And Kia Edgar from first picks up the gold. Remember, you can tweet us, hashtag Snags2016, if you want to let us know what you think of the action tonight. Support your favourite swimmers and your favourite club. Give us a tweet, hashtag Snags2016. There it is on the screen for you. As we see the 16-year-olds on the podium, the bronze medalist, City of Leicester's Adam Wilkes. Joe Watt from City of Glasgow. It's the silver. And Ryan Retson from first gets the gold. Just waiting for the 17 overs to get themselves ready. Here they come. Just outside your shot now. Here they are. And they're onto the podium, the bronze medalist, Finley Deans, sporting the Scotland top there. Jack Warren Ballard, University of Stirling, gets the silver. His first season at the University of Stirling. And the gold medalist, Craig McNally from Warren de Baths. So we stay with backstroke as we move to the girls, and half the distance, so it's 100 backstroke for the girls. Oh, it's a tough life being an official there, standing there waiting for the action, just checking everything's okay. And here we go with the first of our 100 backstrokers. Rachel Grant of North Ayrshire goes in 0. In lane 1 for East Lothian is Lucy Lucas. In lane 2, Chloe Baxter, City of Leicester. In lane 3, Katie Shanahan from City of Glasgow. Lane 4, Ellie Turner from Carnegie. In lane 5, Mari McDonald from City of Aberdeen. In lane 6, her second swim tonight, Iona McLeod, Dundee City Aquatics. Also in the pool for the second time, Katie Goodburn of Warrender. Victoria McCormick goes for South Ayrshire in 8. And in lane 9, Elise Fitzgerald of South Lanarkshire. So for these younger swimmers, Jodie, to swim a second final in the evening, is that tough, or do they bounce back and recover very quickly?
Definitely in this age group it's much easier to bounce back much quicker. The effects of lactic acid don't tend to come on quite so hard as they do with the older swimmers. That's why you'll see quite a lot of them doing the different events, and also the different strokes. You can be much more adaptable at this age and then start to refine a little as you get older.
And it's Ellie Turner who leads the way by about a metre at the halfway point, 33.45. Leads by about half a second. Katie Shanahan, the City of Glasgow swimmer, she's having a great meet. Goes in second place, and Mari McDonald of City of Aberdeen in third. Right there with her in 6 is Iona McLeod, another one who's having a terrific meet. And is pushing hard for second place now, but it looks like Ellie Turner still up, but they're catching her a little bit here with 15 to go. She's about a metre up still, and now looks to be holding that from the City of Glasgow swimmer Katie Shanahan, who looks good for second now. Very close for third. Let's see who gets that, but it's Turner and Shanahan first and second, and it's Iona McLeod just getting third from Chloe Baxter. So the 1, 2, 3, Ellie Turner. And second place, Katie Shanahan, and third place, Iona McLeod. Just see them coming in again. See there, no time appearing on lane 5, so just check on that. Don't think we have a confirmed result there, so Mari McDonald needs to get her time slotted in. And there it is in 5th place. So it doesn't affect the 1, 2, 3 that we called, and there is now the confirmed finish order. Turner, Shanahan, McLeod, the 1, 2, 3. So we are going now to the 14-year-old final. Now waiting patiently in lane 0 is South Ayrshire's Sophie Cameron. In 1 is Ellen Smith of Warrender, with the war paint on her cheeks. In 2, Nina Johnson of First. In lane 3, Alice Shields of Mulgai and Bearsden. Lane 4, Serena Wigerum of City of Glasgow. Elizabeth Wafer goes for Preston in lane 5. Erica Chopek of Best in 6. Jessica McKee of Carnegie in 7. Amber Jaffrey of City of Aberdeen in 8, and Phoebe Kitchen from Mulgai and Bearsden in lane 9. So away we go for the 14-year-olds. Serena Wigerum, 108.63 in the heats this afternoon. Elizabeth Wafer, 108.99, and Ellis Shields, 109.12. So those three. And lane 5, maybe Elizabeth Wafer with the best start in the dark red cap. Scott based in Preston. I think she's going to be first to the turn. Oh, there's not a lot in it at all. Right there with her, Serena Wigerum. There's about 4 tenths between them, 33.68 and 34.02. Out of the turn, still as you were pretty much. Elizabeth Wafer still has the edge. Also moving up well now in lane 7 is Jessica McKee. She's trying to get in at the action, but I think it's going to be Wafer against the Wigerum here in the 2 centre lanes. They are absolutely stroke for stroke here, with just coming up to the 5 metre marks. It's still Wafer, I think, just got the edge, but it's going to be on the finish, and it is Wafer who gets it. Just 500ths in it, 108.76 against 108.81 for Serena Wigerum. Well, that's the closest race of the night, Jodie.
Yeah, definitely. I think Wigram will be a little bit disappointed with that. Slower than this morning's heats, but good swim from Wafer, a little bit quicker, 108.76.
Yeah, we've got nice shots there of their finish, just showing how close they were and that hundredths matter in this game. So to the 15-year-olds, and in lane 0 we have Constance Farmer from City of Leicester. In lane 1, Lerwick swimmer Kayla Manson. In lane 2, Sarah Fraser from City of Aberdeen. In lane 3, Amber Moore from Brock. Lane 4, Lexi Waller of Heart of Midlothian. Her teammate goes in 5, Anna McFarlane of Heart of Midlothian. Molly Young from City of Glasgow in 6, and she has a teammate beside her as well. That's Emma Scully in lane 7. 8 is Rasheen Ramsey of Warrender, and East Lothian's Katrina McManus jumps into the water in lane 9. The youth squad member Lexi Waller, you'd think, would be a fairly hot favourite here. 105.63 was her time in the heats. She'll be looking for something rather faster than that this evening. Her teammate Anna McFarlane has been on very strong form in recent months, so she might give her a bit of a ride for her money. Hart will be looking for a 1-2 here. It is going to be Lexi in lane 4 is going to lead them through, maybe a metre up at the halfway point, 31.52, and picked up something in that turn as well, so she's now got a full body length advantage. Hannah McFarlane, and going very well in lane 8 is Rasheen Ramsey, the Warrender swimmer. So Edinburgh clubs dominating things here with Hearts and Warrender in the 1, 2, 3 positions. And it's going to be a Hearts 1-2. It looks like Lexi Waller coming into the final 5 metres has got this one from Anna McFarlane, who is closing a bit at the end, but it was never going to be close really. 105.54. Well, it was faster, but not a lot faster from Lexi from her heat time. Maybe be a bit disappointed with the time there, but not with the gold medal. She takes that. Anna McFarlane second, and Rasheen Ramsey did take third out of lane 8. I guess it is always looking for that progression from heats to finals, and a 10th probably won't really cut it for Lexi, you'd think there.
Yeah, definitely. It's all about going faster from heats to semi-finals to finals when you're at the big stage. I think a good thing for the 2 girls in the middle lanes, they do train together, both from Heart of Midlothian. Anna McFarlane really pulled it back in that final 25. Sometimes it can be an advantage for the underdog to know the race strategy of the person who's leading the race at that point. She maybe knew, you know, I know Lexi's going to tire a little bit, so I'm really going to push through, and almost paid off for her.
So we go back to the podium now with the 11 to 13s, and there they are. The bronze medalist was Mari McDonald, Katie Shanahan the silver, and Ellie Turner getting the gold there for Carnegie. 14-year-olds will be up next. Here they are. The bronze medalist Alice Shields from Mulgai and Bearsden. Silver medalist Serena Wickram. She always has a big smile on her face when she's on the podium. In fact, most of the time, Serena. Very jolly young lady. Gold medalist Elizabeth Wafer of Preston. Much more serious about these. Forbes Dunlop, Chief Executive of Scottish Swimming, making these presentations. And we go to the 16-year-olds back to the water. So we just got a little bit of a hiatus as we wait for the 16-year-olds to make their way to the blocks. Here they come now, and just out of your shot at the moment as we see the calm of the pool before the storm of the swimming. So see the officials going up just to check these backstroke start devices. And here are the swimmers now at the blocks. And in lane 0 for first, it's Cara Mullen. In lane 1 for Aberdeen, Hannah Dryborough. In lane 2 from South Aberdeenshire, Alicia Lumsden. In lane 3 from City of Aberdeen, Alice Alcaraz. In lane 4, Caitlin Duffy of South Ayrshire. In lane 5, Niamh Ritchie of Warrender. Katie Golday goes for Midlothian in lane 6. Jessica Damon for Warrender in 7. 8 is Sophie Dodd of Dumfries. And in lane 9, Ella Turner from City of Aberdeen. And we saw a cracking battle between Caitlin Duffy and Niamh Ritchie in the 200 last night. Could be a close one. Let's take whatever I say with the pitch. So last time I said it could be a close one. It wasn't at all. So we'll see here how this one works. Good start in lane 7. Jessica Damon. She's right up there with her teammate Niamh Ritchie in 5. And it looks like she's leading. Well, the two Warrender girls really taking this one off hard here in lanes 5 and 7. And they are going to be 1 and 2. I'm not sure who's going to get the touch at the 50 mark. It is Jessica, in fact, 32.42 from Niamh, 32.49, and just 400s behind her, Caitlin Duffy. So I think I got this one right, that it's going to be a close one because there's a lot of swimmers in the hunt here. But well, I'm not sure I called Jessica Damon as being one of the main contenders, but she's proving that she's going to give this one a real good go here. There's 15 metres to go, and I think maybe the ones in the centre lanes coming up now. Hannah Dryborough going well in lane 1. She's also not too far away, but this is a cracking race in the centre lanes here, and they come in absolutely together. They're just separated by 400s. Niamh Ritchie gets her revenge from last night, just to nick it by the narrowest of margins. Caitlin Duffy. Let's see them come in there. Whoa, it's really couldn't call it as to who got the touch there from those shots, but there's confirmation. You just saw so quickly flashing view there of the scoreboard before it disappeared from our very eyes. I confirm it was Niamh Ritchie just getting it from Caitlin Duffy there. Very exciting stuff there, but we move on straight to the 17 and overs. And here we have a birthday girl in lane 0, 20 today, Julie Williams of Mulgai and Bearsden. Lane 1, Lauren Jolks, City of Glasgow. Lane 2 is Lauren McKenzie of Elgin. 3, Karen Reid of South Ayrshire. In 4, Chloe Barkley of Western Bartonshire. Lane 5, Lucy Hope of Edinburgh University. 6, Megan Briggs of Warrender. In 7, Emily Crane, City of Leicester. Eve White goes for Dumfries in 8. And Gull Simonal for West Lothian in 9. So off we go on this one. Chloe Barkley, the fastest qualifier, 1:03.78. Lucy Hope, of course, fresh from that 50 freestyle, very strong backstroker, and she has the advantage from lane 5. Has the fastest entry time coming into this meet, 1:02.30. I think she is going to lead them through halfway, metre or so up, 30.68. Second place, Chloe Barkley. Third place, Gull Simonal, having a storming race out of lane 9. See if she can hold on to a medal position from the outside lane. That would be great performance. Certainly giving it everything, but at the front, it's still, well, looked like maybe Chloe Barkley is coming right back at Lucy Hope now. And she's got the edge here. This has been a really good second half from Chloe. The Western Bartonshire swimmer is going to take her second gold here in backstroke and gets it in 1:03.30. That was an excellent second half from her. Lucy Hope 1:03.60 and Karen Reid taking third in 1:04.57. Well, perhaps a little bit of a turn up there because it looked like Lucy Hope had that her hands at halfway.
Absolutely, I certainly wasn't expecting that. Brilliant final 25 from Chloe Barkley, just showing how important it is to get that training base in there to really be able to come through at the end of a race. You know, on these 100 metres, you can't really leave too much behind, even on that first 50, but she's obviously got her race strategy down to a T.
Yep, excellent stuff there. And of course, Lucy will be another one who'll be very much putting her focus on 2 weeks' time. So we don't know how rested she is, probably not very rested. Bronze medalist now for the 15-year-olds, Rasheen Ramsey of Warrender. Silver medalist getting her medal, Heart of Midlothian, to Anna McFarlane, and her teammate Lexi Waller gets the gold. Hearts having a pretty good meet of it, particularly these girls in their 15-16s. They were very strong in the relay yesterday. So having a good time under head coach Phil Potter. The 16-year-olds up now. Bronze medalist. Good swim out of lane 1 for Aberdeen's Hannah Dryborough. Silver medalist Caitlin Duffy, South Ayrshire. And just edging it into the gold medal position, Warrender's Niamh Ritchie. 400ths between Niamh and Caitlin. The 17 and overs making their way to the podium now. Bronze medalist from South Ayrshire, Karen Reid. Silver medalist, Edinburgh University's Lucy Hope. And the gold medalist from Western Bartonshire, Chloe Barkley. We go back to the other end of the pool now for another sprint event. This time it's the boys 50 breaststroke. And starting off with the 11 to 13 year olds, in lane 0 is Elgin's Calvin Brown. In lane 1 for Carlisle Aquatics, Jack Smith. In lane 3 for Dumfries Dolphins, Owen McBurney. In lane 3 for Daniel Saunders for Warrender. Douglas Kelly of Mulgai and Bears Den goes in 4. Finley Cousins from Geary in 5. Daniel Murray of Western Bartonshire is in 6. Angus Allison of Inverleith in 7. And we've got 2 Lewises, Lewis Thompson of Midlothian in 8 and Lewis McKenzie of Warrender in lane 9. We saw Douglas Kelly rewriting the age group record books yesterday, and he's did that again in the heats this afternoon. 34.09. He set a new 12-year-old 50 breaststroke record. See if he can improve that. He's going in the white cap, has the advantage over the Geary swimmer Finley Cousins in the light blue. Those two in the centre lanes, leading 1 and 2. I think that's going to be the order, with looks like the Warrender swimmer Daniel Saunders in 3rd, but it's Douglas Kelly who takes it, and he smashes that age group record. 33.48, takes over half a second, more than 6/10 in fact off that record. There he comes in, absolutely nailing his finish that time. So excellent swim from the Mulgai and Bearsden man. He takes gold, Finley Cousins the silver, and Daniel Saunders takes 3rd. Well, we built that one up a little bit for that record, and Douglas did the business for us.
He certainly did. He executed that absolutely perfectly. You were saying he nailed the finish, he nailed the start all the way through, just brilliantly held his rhythm, bringing it right through to the finish.
Excellent stuff then. So on to the 14-year-olds. Connor Massey for City of Glasgow in 0. Angus Henry for Highland in 1. James Brett of Braunston in 2. Luke Mitchell from Perth City in 3. Rory Dixon, North Ayrshire in 4. John Keane of West Lothian in 5. Josh Curtis, City of Leicester in 6. Greg Fairbairn, North Lanarkshire in 7. Ethan Horn of South Lanarkshire in 8. And Sam Glenn of North Lanarkshire goes in lane 9. Well, just 800 separated the heat swims from Rory Dixon and John Keane. Keep your eyes on Luke Mitchell as well in the red cap. He could fill a surprise here, but let's see how this one works out. Certainly much tighter than the 11 to 13s. Lane 4 is Rory Dixon in the white cap, and he's got the slight edge. Luke Mitchell is up there with him on one side, and on the other side John Keane. So it looks like, though, the white cap is the one that's going to get it. Rory Dixon, he's up by half a metre or so, and he takes it 32.70, improves by 3/10 on his time from the heats. Second place was John Keane, and third Luke Mitchell, 33.03 and 33.38. The 15-year-olds next, and we have Perth City's Alistair Cormack going in 0. Callum Barnes of South Ayrshire in 1. Lane 2, Greg Rowe of Carnegie. Lane 3, Callum Warnock of North Lanarkshire. In lane 4, Archie Goodburn of Warrender. In lane 5, Andrew McIntosh of South Lanarkshire. Lane 6, Max Hagan from Highland. Angus Nichol for City of Glasgow in 7. Callum Robertson of Warrender in 8. And Rory Matheson of Aberdeen in 9. Well, second appearance for Archie Goodburn. We saw that great 200 butterfly from him at the beginning of the evening. Here he goes in the 50 breaststroke. 31.82 he did this morning. 32.03 for Andrew McIntosh. He goes in the blue cap for South Lanarkshire. Also going very well, Callum Warnock. Very quickly back in the pool, the North Lanarkshire swimmer, and it's Callum who looks to have the edge here in lane 3. Archie Goodburn is trying to track him down here. This is going to be a tight one. Can Callum hold on to this on the finish? Oh, close. But it was Callum, just 300ths in it. I thought Goodburn might just nick it from him there at the end, but, well, Callum just held on there. You see the finish. Absolutely, well, 300ths in it, as you can see, with Max Hagan taking third place. Another good race. Whew, can't keep up, Jodie.
I know, it's been really great swimming so far. So close as well, as you were saying. It's great that we're getting this real head-to-head swimming. I mean, that's what racing's all about ultimately. You know, times can fall by the wayside, but if you're really up there from the beginning, you're racing head-to-head with your fellow swimmer. That's what sport's all about.
Yeah, some fantastic stuff. We're back to the podium now as we are presenting the 11 to 13-year-olds. Daniel Saunders, the bronze medalist, Finlay Cousins, the silver, and Douglas Kelly in that new age group record time, 33.48, gets the gold medal. So a terrific swim that from Douglas. 2 days down. 2 new age group records, broken in the heats, broken again in the finals. Well, he set himself a good target for the next 3 days. The 14-year-olds now, and it's Perth City's Luke Mitchell getting the bronze, and a big cheer from the crowd. Silver medalist John Keane from West Lothian. Second breaststroke medal for him. And the gold medalist from North Ayrshire, Rory Dixon. So we go to the pool again now with the 16-year-old final. In lane 0 from South Ayrshire we have David Rowan. In 1, City of Aberdeen, Sam Evans. Michael Irwin goes for Western Bartonshire in lane 2. 3 is Gregor Barnett of Broch. 4, Ross Neely of West Lothian. Jack Green of St Thomas in lane 5. Sam Huntington of Aberdeen in 6. Casper Luzak of Best in 7. Blair Watritt of Dumfries in 8. And Thomas McSkimming for Warrender in lane 9. So that's the field here. Ross Neely, I think, will be the man to beat here. The West Lothian swimmer, 31.11 for him this morning. So that 31.11 represented about a 0.3 improvement on his entry time for Ross. So see if he can improve on that further, see if he can get the business done in this head-to-head races, because this is looking pretty tight again. In the blue cap in lane 4 is Ross Neely, and he's starting to emerge into the lead now with 15 metres to go. It's anyone's race for second. Lane 2 is up there. That's Michael Irwin from Western Bartonshire. Beside him, Gregor Barnett of Broch. I think they're battling it with the St Thomas swimmer, Jack Green. It was Jack Green who got second, but it was Ross Neely, 30.90, winning by over a second there. Jack Green and Gregor Barnett, the 1, 2, 3. So the 17 and overs now. Michael Alcorn, Mulgown Bearsden goes in 0. Callum McBeath of Forres in 1. Jack McComish of City of Glasgow in 2. Jamie Graham from the University of Stirling in 3. Ewan Ingalls of Edinburgh University in 4. Chris Kerr of Warrender in 5. Benedict Tortolano, University of Stirling in 6. Cameron Muir of South Ayrshire in 7. Craig Barnes, also of South Ayrshire, in 8. And Jacob Marchbank from Perth City in 9. Ewan Ingalls, 28.38. 28.47. Chris Kerr in the heats this morning. Jamie Graham could be up there as well, 28.82 this morning. We'll watch those 3, along with the other 7, of course. So away they go. Starts in these sprints, so important, getting quickly and efficiently into your stroke. Ingalls in the white cap in lane 4 just has the edge from the swimmers either side of him. Jamie Graham in the black cap, and in the red is Chris Kerr. And Jamie Graham is giving Ewan Ingalls a run for his money here, but it looks like Ewan just has the edge as they come into the wall. 28.33 for Ewan, 28.48 for Jamie, and Chris Kerr third, 28.72. So that is now confirmed. So Ewan there, just a tad faster, 500ths faster than his heats. I suppose that's progression.
Yeah, absolutely. 0.5 is better than nothing, so absolutely, I'm sure he'll be pleased with that. Just a word about Jamie Graham as well. He had a short hiatus last year from the pool, so really impressed to see him coming back on form. He moved to the University of Stirling at the beginning of the season, and it's already looking like it's paying dividends.
So we go back to the podium now. This is the 15-year-olds getting their medals and receiving the bronze. Max Hagan from the Highland swim team. Good to see the Highlanders on the podium. Silver medalist Archie Goodburn of Warrender, and gold medalist North Lanarkshire's Callum Warnock. Lovely swim from Callum. North Lanarkshire having a pretty good championships. It's their second gold of the night, with Thomas Balfour picking one up earlier. On to the 16-year-olds now. Bronze medalist Gregor Barnett, Broch, Fraser Rebase team. St Thomas, Jack Green, our Broth team. Jack gets the silver. And Ross Neely of West Lothian gets the gold. think he'll be pleased with a 50 breaststroke goal, because you normally think of Ross as a longer distance breaststroker, so I think to get that sprint speed will be very satisfying for him. And those 17 and overs make their way up now. Chris Kerr of Warrender gets the bronze. Jamie Graham, University of Stirling, that's where Jodie was just talking about, gets the silver. And Edinburgh University's Ewan Ingalls takes the gold. So we're done now with 50 breaststroke. We've just got 5 races to go now, and it's all 200 IM. The 5 age groups in the girls. Tell a lie, we've got 400 freestyle after that. Didn't want to deprive you of that. So don't tune off when we finish the 200 IMs, because the best is yet to come. So we start off with the 11 to 13s. Girls 200 IM. Lane 0 from City of Leicester, Caris O'Reilly. In lane 1 from Heart of Midlothian, Elle Riley. In lane 2 from Dundee City Aquatics, having a very busy night, Iona McLeod. Lane 3, Chloe Baxter, City of Leicester. In lane 4, Rosie Morgan, City of Aberdeen. Also back in the pool again, Ellie Turner, Carnegie. She's not had much recovery time. Katie Shanahan of City of Glasgow goes in 6. Her teammate Kitty Chan in 7. Maisie Elliott, City of Leicester in 8. And Priya Vasey completes the field for City of Glasgow in lane 9. Well, Rosie Morgan already the 50 freestyle gold medalist tonight. Can she double up with the 200 IM? Was the fastest qualifier, 2:29.99, a bit over a second ahead of Ellie Turner and Chloe Baxter. Good start in lane 8, Maisie Elliott of City of Leicester. As they come up to the end of the butterfly, it is Maisie leading, 31.71. As we should see different strengths coming through in the different strokes here. So, but Maisie's given herself a great start. Rosie Morgan looking good on the backstroke. So IM, what's the secret of a successful IM?
Well, it's such a difficult event. For me, it's actually one of my favourites, because in order to be able to master the skills of each of the 4 strokes, you've got to really focus your training and spend a lot of time on each of them individually. So I think for this particular 200 IM, the breaststroke is what's going to set them apart. Obviously, we can see Rosie Morgan's got a good lead already. If she's got a solid breaststroke, this could be it for her.
Well, certainly an excellent backstroke from Rosie Morgan, and we'll see whether she comes under pressure on the backstroke. It looks as if she is. Ellie Turner in lane 5 is definitely closing the gap. Also trying to push on is Katie Shanahan. Keep your eyes on Kitty Chan. She's a really strong breaststroker in lane 7. But in the front, it is still Rosie and Ellie, and Rosie is holding that advantage pretty well here. Looked like she was going to come under pressure, but, well, second half of the breaststroke, she basically maintained that 1.5 metre advantage, and she turns 1:53.34 into the freestyle, and we saw the strength of Rosie's freestyle earlier on this evening, and I don't think she's going to be threatened from here on in. Ellie Turner is looking good for second. We did see that great breaststroke from Kitty Chan, and that's put her up into 3rd place, but she's got a battle to hold that with her teammate Katie Shanahan beside her, the youngster, just 11 years. She'll be looking to see if she could add to 11-year records here. We'll keep an eye on that in a moment, but the winner by a good margin, 2:26.35, is Rosie Morgan. Second place, Ellie Turner, and Katie Shannon coming through to take third, 2:30.11, and that was a new 11-year-old record there for Katie Shanahan. So she broke that record 2 weeks ago at the Edinburgh International and proves it by another 6/10 tonight. Just nicking the bronze from Iona McLeod there, and Kitty Chan very, very tight there, just a 10th between the three of them. But the 1, 2, 3, Rosie Morgan, Ellie Turner, and Katie Shanahan. The 14-year-olds now, and Ella Hamilton goes for Alton in lane 1. Elizabeth Wafer from Preston in 1. In 2, Libby Simpson of Warrender. 3, Beth Gill of Hearts. 4, Lucy Ross of South Lanarkshire. In 5, Ellie Redpath of Midlothian. Lane 6 is Erin Snow of South Lanarkshire. Lane 7, Kirsty Peng of Warrender. Alex Bonner goes for City of Aberdeen in 8, and Louise Edmonds from Northgate in lane 9. So away we go here, Lucy Ross, 2:28.60. We're looking to dominate this one. Another one who picked up gold in the 50 freestyle, looking to add the 200 IM to that. But a good start in lane 5 from the Midlothian swimmer, Ailey Redpath. She has been on the podium a number of times, yet to get to the top of it. I'm sure she'd love to do that before this competition is out. Second place, Alex Bonner in lane 8, so a good fly leg from her. 31.29, the 50 split for Ailey. Moving up in lane 3, the Heart swimmer Beth Gill, the winner of the 1500 freestyle yesterday. This is something completely different though, 200 IM. And starting to move up now, Lucy Ross. We expect to see her moving up in the breaststrokes. Jodie mentioned earlier, so often very important constituent in this IM, but at the moment it's now Beth Gill and Eddie Redpath, the 1 and 2. Beth just getting the touch, 1:10.71. Now let's see how things change in the breaststroke. Erin Snow also looking strong in lane 6, but here comes Lucy Ross now in lane 4. You can see her making ground on the swimmers either side of her, as Beth Gill desperately trying to hold on to advantage. Eddie Redpath very much still in there in the mix. Erin Snow trying to get into it as well. So we've got 4 swimmers vying for 3 medals here as we come up to the 150. And Lucy Ross has propelled herself into the lead now in the breaststroke. She turns 1:52.92 as they go into the freestyle then. She's put herself into a really strong position. That was a great transition from breaststroke to freestyle for her. And now all of a sudden she is well clear. I don't think anyone's going to be able to do anything about this now. Eddie Redpath looking stronger and stronger for the silver medal. It looks like Beth Gill will take the bronze. No questioning her endurance from her form in the 1500. But it's going to be lane 4, Lucy Ross, picking up a second gold of the evening. Another great swim from the South Lanarkshire girl, 2:27.13. Takes a second and a half from her heat time. They'll be happy with that. Came into the meet 2:27.8, so improves on that as well. Hayley Redpath second, 2:29.24, and Beth Gill third, 2:30.31. Oh, she looked a bit tired there as she came in to finish there.
Yeah, a superb race though, almost a perfect spearhead down that final 50 metres. It just goes to show though how much of a difference that breaststroke leg makes. Obviously you've mentioned Lucy as a specialist in the breaststroke, and you really saw that coming through against the other girls.
Yeah, excellent stuff there for her. Then we go to the 15-year-olds now, and there is Kiana McInnes in lane 0 for Heart of Midlothian. Next to her from Warrender, Taylor Finlayson. From Northampton, Ailsa McDonald in lane 2. 3 is Molly Young, City of Glasgow. Katie Robertson from South Ayrshire goes in 4. Kirsten Laurie of First in 5. Morven Adams, Dundee City Aquatics in 6. Sophie Smith of St Thomas in 7. Emma Scully of City of Glasgow in 8, and Kirsty Stewart for Aberdeen in 9. Katie Robertson 2:25.52 was quite a lot faster than anybody else in the heats earlier on, so watch out for her here. I think this could be another example of breaststroke making the difference, because that's very much Katie's speciality. She's in the hunt at the moment, but a great start, not surprisingly, from the butterfly specialist Kiana McInnes way over there in lane 0, and she's got a big lead at the end of the butterfly, 29.48. Using her strengths as best she can, she leads by about 1.3 from Katie Robertson second, Kirsten Laurie third, as they go into backstroke. Now see how Kiana can go about trying to protect this lead down the backstroke length and then into the breaststroke. The two blue caps then, two different clubs. Katie Robertson of South Ayrshire, but led at the moment by Kirsten Laurie from first. They are vying for second. Also up there is Emma Scully in lane 8 for City of Glasgow. Through halfway, it's still Kiana McInnes, 1:07.68. She still has a lead of nearly a second as we go into the breaststroke. Now watch out for Katie Robertson now start to move up here in lane 4. The youth squad member will be using all that breaststroke technique, since we saw from Lucy Ross. We're seeing in spades here from Katie Robertson. She is really pulling well away here. Kiana McInnes is sticking well to it though. She's still in second place over in lane 0. Really strong swim from her. Can she hold on to get into a medal position from lane 0? But it's Katie Robertson at the 150. You can see her coach there looking very energized there on the side of the pool. Just saw the back of his head there. 1:48.98, Byron Desterica, South Ayrshire coach. But he's going to see his charge, Katie Robertson, bringing this one home by a big margin. The race is very much on for second now. Kiana McInnes will be trying to hold on against Kirsten Laurie here. That's the race here for the silver medal. Looks like Kiana could just take the silver, but it's going to be Katie Robertson taking the gold with quite a bit in hand. 2:23.06, improves by 2.5 seconds on her heat time. It was Kiana McInnes. That was a fantastic race from lane 0, really spurred on by her strong fly at the beginning. 2:26.31 for her, and Kirsten Laurie taking third in 2:27.21. Katie Robertson came into this meet 2:22.67 she did a couple of weeks ago, so not quite at that time, but that was a solid swim from Katie there. Second swim of the night. So I think she'll be pretty happy with that, even though it wasn't the best time.
Yeah, wonderful swimming from Katie and also from Kiana in lane 1. It was great to see both of them really trusting in their strengths. Kiana went out hard on that 50 butterfly. She knew that's where her strengths lay. She had to take out that first 50, and Katie trusted herself, not taking the fly too hard, knowing that she could come through on the breaststroke.
The podium athletes then for the 11 to 13 200 IM. Bronze medalist Katie Shannon, that new 11-year-old age group record time from City of Glasgow. The silver medalist Ellie Turner of Carnegie, and the gold medalist Rosie Morgan from City of Aberdeen. And a special trophy goes to the top 12 and under swimmer in the 200 AM. That's the Sharp Trophy, and that goes to Katie Shanahan. There's the other two in the 13 age group, so the top 12-year-old was Katie, so she takes the cup. So one of our special trophies. We also have trophies that will be given out on Sunday night for top 16 and under swimmers. So watch out for that on Sunday. Meanwhile, the 14-year-olds, bronze medalist Beth Gill of Hearts, silver medalist Aileen Redpath of Midlothian, and the gold medalist South Lanarkshire's Lucy Ross. So some excellent swims in our 300 IM races to go. Two more of them to come, starting with the 16-year-olds. 16-year-olds, bronze medalist Beth Gill of Hearts, silver medalist Aileen Redpath of Midlothian, and the gold medalist South Lanarkshire's Lucy Ross. So some excellent swims in our 300 IM races to go. Two more of them to come, starting with the 16-year-olds. The swimmers just coming forward to the blocks now for their race. And in lane 0, representing City of Glasgow, is Katie McKenzie. In lane 1, from South Ayrshire, Caitlin Duffy. In lane 2, Anna Fleming, City of Glasgow. In lane 3, Warrender's Katie Smith. In lane 4, for South Lanarkshire, Nikki Miller. In lane 5, Millfield's Isabel Jones. In lane 6, Katie Taylor of Hearts. In lane 7, Anya Reid of First. Katie Golder goes for Midlothian in 8. And Alicia Lumsden for South Aberdeenshire in 9. Nikki Miller, the fastest qualifier here, but only by hundredths. 2:26.77. Isabel Jones 2:26.85. So it's blue cap against green cap. Another great butterfly start there in lane 2. That's Anna Fleming, very strong butterfly swimmer. Of course, we saw her freestyle prowess earlier, so she's certainly going to be strong, topping and tailing this one. And she leads through the 50, 29.77. Anna certainly could be a real challenger in this one. The youth squad member in her home pool, of course. But leading the way now is Isabel Jones of Millfield. And she is very much the backstroke specialist. And Jodie talked about playing to your strengths. Well, that's what Isabel's doing here. Backstroke is her thing, and she's opened up about 2 meters an advantage there. 1:05.35. Another member of the Scottish programme, swimmer from Millfield. Of course, Dad, a strong player in the British swimming world, Tim Jones. The swimming genes going through to Isabel. She's looking to hold off Nikki Miller in the breaststroke here. Nikki is coming back to her, so is Katie Smith in lane 3, and Katie Taylor not too far away in lane 6. So I think we're down to these 4 now. And Isabel Jones's lead, I think, has gone. And in fact, it's Katie Smith with a storming breaststroke to come through. 1:50.14. Now, can she hold on in the freestyle? Katie's a pretty solid freestyler, but she'll need all that skill, because Nikki Miller, with the endurance of the distance freestyler, has she got the speed though to see this one on? I think maybe she has. She's up alongside Katie Smith now, trying to push also to get back into it. Isabel Jones, but it's Katie Smith is holding the advantage here. Is she going to get her first gold of these championships? She's up by 0.5 meter. Nikki Miller is coming back at her, but Katie Smith takes it. Oh, that was a brave swim down that final 50 from Katie. 2:22.89 to hold off Nikki Miller there, who pushed her all the way. 2:23.13. And Isabel Jones taking third. 2:24.72. Well, I'm not sure I'd have called Katie Smith as the winner of that one, but so that was a great swim from her. The swimmers coming in then, you see Katie Smith just always holding the upper hand there on Nikki Miller, so really solid, again triggered by that breaststroke third length. The last of our 200 IMs then is the 17 overs, and there in lane 0 is Victoria Milburn from City of Glasgow. In lane 1, Kate McPhee of Newcastle swim team. In 2, Eve White of Dumfries. In lane 3, Chanel Snedden of First. In lane 4, Ola Adams of Geary. In lane 5, Samantha Caulfield from Edinburgh University. In lane 6, Hayley Duffy from City of Aberdeen. In lane 7, Lauren Sutherland of Edinburgh University. 8 is Jessica Thompson of City of Aberdeen. And 9, Lauren McKenzie from Elgin. Well, Ola Adams, in the absence of her teammate Hannah Miley, will be looking to uphold the Geary course here. The fastest qualifier for the final 2:20.83. Chanel Snedden and Samantha Caulfield could both be threats to her, either side of her. There's a number of other good experienced IMers here as well. Lane 5, it is Samantha Caulfield who I think is going to lead them at the 50. Not much in it between her and Chanel Snedden. 29.76 and 29.96. Into the backstroke. All are a pretty strong backstroker, so she could threaten here, but Chanel Snedden now looks to have the edge. New squad member from first. National short course silver medalist in December. And she is about half a metre up now on Ola Adams. Those two with about a body length advantage over Samantha Caulfield and Eve White in lane 2, and also lane 9, Lauren McKenzie going well. But it's Ola Adams who got the edge there, 105.22. And into the breaststroke, she's maybe up by about a metre now on Chanel. And on the other side, Samantha Caulfield. It looks like we're down to these three now, with Ola Adams with the upper hand. But Chanel Snedden is still in the hunt here. So looking to bring this one in. Coming up to the 150. Ola Adams has the advantage. 145 exactly is her split at the 150. Leads by over a second and a half from Chanel Snedden. That's a good advantage to take into the freestyle. Chanel will really have to go like the clappers down this last leg now to catch Ola. It looks like there's only 1 and 2 at the moment. I think we know who's going to be third. That's Samantha Caulfield. I don't think Ola Adams is going to be caught here. Chanel still about a metre and a half back. So the 1, 2, 3 is going to be Adams, Snedden and Caulfield, as Ola brings it in 2:18.73, a 2-second improvement on her heat time. And pretty much bang on, just 4/10 away from her season's best. So good swim from Ola. Chanel Snedden second, Samantha Caulfield third. So that's very much been the theme of these IMs, is the breaststroke, although in that case Ola Adams really a good base in the backstroke, in fact.
Definitely, and the final 100 for her, she just looked like she was gearing up and gearing up. You know, she didn't seem to be fading off at any point. So she's clearly got the training base in there. You mentioned that she trains with Hannah Miley. You know, very, very similar in the way that they swim. Not quite so hard down the butterfly, but then really building up towards the end of the race.
So good stuff. Back to the podium now. The 15-year-olds are receiving their medals. The bronze medalist was Kirsten Laurie. Kiana McInnes with that super swim from the outside lane getting the silver. And the gold medalist, Katie Robertson. And the 16-year-olds next to receive their presentations. Bronze medalist Isabel Jones from Millfield School. The silver medalist Nikki Miller of South Lanarkshire. And the gold medalist from Warrender, Katie Smith. Yet another solid Warrender performance. What 2 days they've had so far. They led after day 1 in the team competition. I think they might just be leading after day 2. Well, we won't find that out for until tomorrow. With a fairly complicated points mechanism that we've got here. So on to the 17 and overs. Bronze medalist, Edinburgh University's Samantha Caulfield. Silver medalist, Chanel Snedden from first. And here is Ola Adams picking up the gold. So well done to Ola. Well done to all our medalists. So we have those 400 freestyles to come. 3 of them. As we said, we give the evening off to the youngsters here. They just did it all this afternoon. But for the older swimmers, it's heats and finals, which is a tough ask in a 400 to do a heat in the morning and the final in the evening.
Yep, definitely. They're going to have to really focus into these finals now. Just trust in their training, like we've been saying all evening, and just, make sure that they've got their heads in the right place coming into this.
So run through the field. Andrew McIntosh for South Lanarkshire in 0. Angus Nicol for City Glasgow in 1. Finley Hart of East Lothian goes in 2. 3, Archie Goodburn, his 3rd swim of the night for Warrender. 4, Scott Provan, City of Salford. Daniel Ferguson, West Lothian in 5. Jonathan Christie in 6. Greg Rowe in 7. Jamie MacDonald in 8. And Callum Young in 9. Scott Provan looking for his first gold. The Salford swimmer, 4:19.11 was his heat swim, 3 seconds faster than Daniel Ferguson. Then Archie Goodburn, another 2.5 back. Interesting to see how much Archie has still left. If this is his 3rd swim. Daniel Ferguson has also been in the water before this evening. Jonathan Christie. So at the first turn, of course, more, well, say leisurely affair. Certainly not leisurely for the swimmers, but more leisurely for the commentators. That was totally the wrong word, Jodie, wasn't it?
No, you're right, though. It is definitely a case of pacing these races. You know, they can't go out too hard. The third 100 is critical in this. What they'll try and do is just gradually build the speed, get into their pace, start to flow and get into the rhythm of their stroke, and hopefully bring it back down that final 100 metres.
So through the 100, and Archie Goodburn leads them 59.56. So he's setting out his stall early on. Scott Provan now coming up just about beside him in the yellow cap in lane 4. These two have got a bit of a gap on 3rd place. Daniel Ferguson of West Lothian, who in turn is just ahead of Jonathan Christie, and Finley Hart in lane 2. It's Goodburn and Provan. Oh, pretty much together there at the 150. Just a 10th separating them. Scott this time getting the touch. Good, nice close shot of them. So technique in the 400.
Yeah, it really plays a part in this. You've got to be able to maximise the easy speed at the beginning of the race, so you're not taking too much out of yourself, but then equally know that you've got the endurance to maintain the rhythm throughout the rest of the race.
So efficiency of stroke, very important then.
Absolutely. As with all of the events, it's becoming more and more important in swimming at the top level. Technique is key.
So Scott Provan now has made a bit of a move in that second 100, and he's now body length up on Archie Goodburn. 3rd place is Jonathan Christie, and Finley Hart just ahead of Daniel Ferguson. 4th and 5th, but they're out of the podium positions at the moment. It's only 1 and 2. Looks to be a race between Scott Provan and Archie Goodburn. They are quite a long way clear now of the next group, led by Jonathan Christie, but Finley Hart is not far behind him, less than a second away, so he might be just knocking on the door for a place on the podium. Don't discount Archie Goodburn just yet. He's still within about 1.5 meters of Scott Provan, and we'll be looking to see whether he's got some speed compared with Scott in the final 100. And then go into that 100. Scott going through 3:07.81, 3:09.77, so nearly 2 seconds the gap. That was a bit more than I was expecting, and just Scott through that turn picked up something there. So it looks like Scott, perhaps because of his freshness, perhaps just because he's a faster swimmer, is looking the man most likely now. Lane 2, Finley Hart. And lane 6, Jonathan Christie, look as if they're going to be deciding the bronze between them. So it is Scott Provan and Archie Goodburn 1 and 2, 3:40 and 3:42. Christie still has 3rd place. He's now up by over a second on Finley Hart as we focus the screen on our 2 leaders here. And there is a late challenge here from Archie Goodburn, and this could be close in the end here, because Goodburn has really got into this one now. He's less than a metre behind, but Proven sees the threat, responds very nicely, and gets it done for 12:29. Well, there was a little bit of a sting in the tail there, but, well, Scott Proven did really well to respond there, because you just felt that he had to up his game in those last 15 metres to make sure of the gold.
Definitely. Perhaps he went a little bit too early. We really saw him pushing on that third 100 metres, whereas Archie sat back a little bit on his heels, perhaps even kind of coasted, slipstreamed off his wave, and really came back in that final 25, which I think surprised Scott a little bit. He was breathing to the right, so we couldn't see him the whole way, and then luckily looked around and finally gave it that extra push.
If you are breathing the other way, would you be aware of the presence just because of the sort of splashing and the turbulence coming from the next lane, or would you just be totally oblivious to it?
Certainly from my experience, I always found if I breathed to one side, I was completely unaware of what was going on the other side of me. So I always had to be quite careful to make sure I was breathing bilaterally, just so I was aware of what was going on in the race.
So on to the 16-year-old final now. We have Keith Brown going in 0 for City of Aberdeen. Fraser Allison and Warrender in 1. Cameron Kavanagh in 2. Duncan McKinney in 3. Ryan Retson goes in 4. 5 is Marshall Illingworth. 6, Tom Christie Smith. 7 is James Beattie. And lane 8, Joe Watt. No swimmer in lane 9. Well, Ryan Retson will be the fancied swimmer here. 4:13.77 was his time in the heats. He comes into this meet with a 4:05. He actually did a 4:03 back last summer, winning the British Summer Championship. So, of course, that's not the season's best time, because that counts as last season. So we'll see whether he can match that 4:05 that he comes in to this meet with. The one I think who will be aiming at events next month. And the junior selections, and him could be Youth Olympics he'll be looking at. Beside him, strong start from City of Glasgow's Duncan McKinney, and it's going to be Duncan leading at the 100 mark, 1:00.23 against Ryan Retson's. Well, in fact, Ryan getting the touch actually, 1:00.23. Duncan McKinney 1:00.35, and well, very efficient through the turn there. And Ryan, I mean, looks as if he was going into the turn in second place. Certainly came out clearly in first. Going nicely in lane 6 is Tom Christie Smith, the City of Leicester. Also in lane 1, Fraser Allison, and in fact Fraser in third place behind Ryan Retson, Duncan McKinney at the 1:50. You just see Fraser there in the red cap of Warrender at the top of your screen. As the screen pans back, you can see there's actually a reasonable lead for the two at the front, and still Duncan McKinney is tracking Ryan Retson here. Actually, Fraser Allison is closing that gap a bit there in lane 1, so he's having a really strong first half to his race as they go through the halfway point. Retson 2:05.83, McKinney 2:06.13, Allison 2:06.41, 6/10 separating the three of them, pacing around 65.5. They're certainly not going to be on 4:05 pace, I don't think. 4:13 was the entry time for Ryan Retson. He's going to have to pick it up in the second half, and it looks like that's what he's doing. He's just opened up a bit of a gap now on Duncan McKinney down that 5th length. Now about a second and a half up. Just 6/10 still between Duncan McKinney and Fraser Allison. So we get the close-up shot of Ryan there. And well, this is a solid performance now as we come to 300. I think he's looking to get this race in. Certainly from the way he's swimming here, it doesn't look like this is a tapered swim to me. 3:08.33. Certainly picked up the pace in that third 100. That was about a 62.5 against the 65.5 in the second 100. And so Ryan Retson now very much the favourite. Duncan McKinney, who's been there or thereabouts, now has to try and see off the attentions of Fraser Allison to secure the silver medal. 3:39.68 for Ryan, 3:43 for Duncan, 3:44 for Fraser, about a second and a half back. So you would think Duncan should be able to protect that, as we see Ryan Retson then. Just see Duncan there quite a long way back now as they come down, 15 metres to go, and Ryan Retson in complete control in the second half of this race. We'll check up the time just towards 4:10 now. He's going to come in and take it, 4:10.09. So 3.5 seconds plus inside his heat time. Second place, Group Duncan McKinney, 4:14.35. Also a very good improvement on his heat time. He did 4:22 this morning. So that's very good progression. Came in with a 4:16 as well, so improves on that. And Fraser Allison, 4:16.93, takes the bronze medal to add to his breaststroke gold yesterday. So good versatility from the Warrender swimmer. So we have one more race to delight you with this evening. It's the 17 and overs 400 freestyle. So we just see the finish order there from that last race. Retson, McKinney and Allison. And here we go now for that last race. And going in lane 0 from Geary is Gavin Haggerwood. In lane 1, representing South Lanarkshire, is Richard Laird. In 2, from City of Glasgow, Cameron Park. In 3, Chris Lowther of City of Glasgow. In lane 4, Angus Barr from South Lanarkshire. In lane 5, Callum Laurie of First. In lane 6, Daniel Fisher for Edinburgh University. Jack Watson goes in 7, representing City of Aberdeen. In lane 8 is Jeff Butler from Edinburgh University. And Murray Quellant completes the field, representing Aberdeen. So off we go with the last race of day 2 of the Scottish National Age Group Championships. And a good start in lane 0 from Gavin Haggerwood. And from lane 4, probably the favourite for this event, Angus Barr. And it's going to be Haggerwood, I think, leading at the first turn. It is 27.61. Barr second, Laurie third. Angus Barr only third in this event last year. We're looking to go to the top of the podium this time. Member of the senior silver squad of Scottish Swimming's performance structure, and he is just ahead of Gavin Haggerwood now, and Chris Lowther now moving into third place, 57.7. He split at the 100s. Angus very strong in the longer distances. Is there a difference between the 1500 swimmers who move down to the 400 and the 200 swimmers who move up in terms of how they would tend to swim this race?
Definitely. I mean, the guys that are swimming the 1500 and coming down, they know they've got the endurance base there. They don't have to worry about the back end element. It's more about focusing, can I get the speed to really match the guys that are sprinting, whereas the 200 guys, it's always a worry, the back end. Can I hang on? They know they've got the front end speed. They can get out there at the beginning of the race, but can they hold on and finish it?
So I think we're seeing suddenly two of the distance men here, Angus Barr and Chris Lowther, dominating at the moment. Both of them probably specialists at the longer events. And it is Angus Barr at halfway, 1:58.67. Still only half a second or so up on Lowther, pacing just over the minute for his second 100. So we're looking at around 4-minute pacing here, unless they pick it up in the second half. Callum Laurie probably more of the 200, 400 man, 400 IM, probably his strongest event. So he'll have the endurance for the 400. We'll see whether he can get close to the leading two here. And certainly making a race of it, these two. Angus Barr and Chris Lowther. There's only a metre or so between them. So they come down towards the 300. And, well, maybe just Chris Lowther just fancies this one. He comes in on a 4:02 season's time against the 3:55 of Angus's. That doesn't count for too much at the moment, I don't think, because this is racing now with 100 to go. There's about a metre between them. 3:00.27 and 3:00.98 are the splits. So 7/10, which was pretty much the gap at the 200. This is about back-end endurance now. They're both likely to have that, as Jody said, both distance specialists. But Angus Barr maybe just opening up a bit of a gap now in these last stages. Lane 1, Richard Laird, another distance man from the South Lanarkshire programme, is having a storming back half in lane 1. He's moved into third place here, ahead of Callum Laurie. But there you have the two leaders. Angus Barr at the bottom, and just above him on the screen there is Chris Lowther. And you can see there Angus Barr holds all the aces in his hand here with 15 metres to go. He's going to see this one home. He's a bit more than a body length up. It's going to be a 1 and 3 for South Lanarkshire, and in between them, City of Glasgow's Chris Lowther. So Barr takes it, 4:01.03. Lowther second, 4:02.52, and Laird 4:04.68 takes third. So Richard Laird, I think, will be happy with that bronze medal. 4:12 was his entry time. And did a 4:04. Well, that's just terrific stuff there. What an improvement to pick up the bronze in the 17 and overs. So we just got presentations to go, Jodie. It's been another good night swimming.
It has, absolutely. We've seen the full spectrum tonight, from the 50s to the 400s. It's great to see races like we've just seen there, completely different tactics from the others. And also, like we were saying, the 1500 guys leading it out in that one, very different race tactics. You could see them, the stroke rates were harder for them to pick up. You could see them kind of trying to build that throughout the race, whereas for the 200 swimmers, it's a case of trying to slow things down to hold on. So it's a brilliant display of endurance.
So our final sets of presentations then are these 3 400 freestyle races. So the 15-year-olds there, Jonathan Christie, the bronze medalist, silver medalist Archie Goodburn, and the gold medalist from City of Salford, Scott Proven. "16-year-olds will be next up. You can see the gallery pretty sparse now. They've seen the action, and it's really the diehards who are here to watch these final medal presentations. In the 16-year-olds, bronze medalist Warrender's Fraser Allison, silver medalist City of Glasgow's Duncan McKinney. That was a good swim from Duncan. Really pushed Ryan Retson through certainly the first half of that race, but Ryan Retson in the second half brought it home, and he takes the gold for first. One more presentation and our night will be done. And they're coming to the podium now. Here they are. Bronze medalist, that great swim from South Lanarkshire's Richard Laird. Huge improvement on his entry time, 8 seconds. Be happy with that. Silver medalist from City of Glasgow, Chris Lowther. Very solid swim from him as well. And the gold medal, a really competent performance from South Lanarkshire's Angus Barr. So as we see our final sets of medalists. Jodie, I think you're leaving us after tonight. I'm distraught about that.
I am. I'm absolutely gutted. It's been a fantastic meet so far. It's been an absolute privilege to co-commentate alongside yourself tonight, Duncan, and with Robert yesterday. But I wish the best of luck to all the swimmers for the rest of the meet.
Yes, it's been a fantastic evening. Remember, you can tweet on hashtag Snags2016. Give us your thoughts. Congratulate your favourite swimmers. But that's just about it from us from Tollcross International Swimming Centre. I'm Duncan McKinnon, and from my co-commentator Jodie Laresh from Tollcross, we wish you farewell for tomorrow night. We'll be back on air tomorrow just before 5:15 for day 3 of the Scottish National Age Group Championships.